Dividing mixed numbers. So first thing we need to do is we need to change one or both of the mixed numbers to improper fractions. So after I complete this step, I follow the rules for normal dividing fractions, most importantly, multiplying by the reciprocal. So it's going to be really important that if your mixed number is second, you make it improper, then you flip it to multiply. So getting into a few examples here. So I have 3.5 divided by 10. So 7 over 2, and I have to remember this is over 1, times 1/10, which ends up equaling 7/20. Now, I can check this by multiplying. I could take my 7/20 times by 10 over 1. Well, I notice here that I can cancel. I would get 7 over 2, which equals 3 1/2. And so is that the same as what I started with? It is, so I would know that I have the correct answer. The next one, I'm going to get 51 over 4. And then I'm going to times by 1/3. You remember 3 does go into 51 17 times. So working with much smaller numbers, I end up with 17 over 4, which equals 4 1/4. Now, if I wanted to multiply, I could take this 17 over 4 times 3 over 1, which equals then 51 over 4. This goes in 12 times with 3/4 left over. So then I know my 4 1/4 is my correct and final answer. So feeling pretty good about just dividing mixed by a whole number. Get on to multiplying by just a single fraction, making it 12/5. And then I'm going to multiply. I'm going to do my reciprocal, 3 over 2. I see here that this can reduce, and multiplying across I get 18 over 5, which then is going to equal 3 3/5. My next example, 45 over 8, and I'm going to multiply by my reciprocal of 4/3. 3 goes into 45 15 times. 4 goes into 8 2 times. So I have 15 over 2, which equals 7 1/2. Final answer. So now that we've done a whole number and a fraction, then we would do our mixed number with a whole number, mixed number and a fraction. Now we're going to do two mixed numbers. So my first one is 21 over 5. Then I'm going to multiply. Let's say this is 6. So this is 7/3. So I'm going to multiply by 3/7 because I need to make sure that I do the reciprocal. 1 4/5 is my final answer. The next example here. So the fraction didn't make it look nice, so I have to think of this as 1 5/9 this way. So I'm going to have 14 over 9 times 7 over 3, so I'm going to do 3 over 7. And this time I have something that can cancel in both spots. So my final answer then is going to be 2/3. You should expect a smaller fraction because I'm taking a mixed number and dividing it by a larger mixed number, so that's going to give me a smaller answer. And lastly, some story problem. So the average adult male giant panda weighs about 1.5 times as much as the average female. If the average weight of a male giant panda is 330 pounds, how much does the average female giant panda weigh? Well, I'm going to have to take this 330 and then I'm dividing by 1 1/5. So my problem is going to be 330 over 1 times. So I have 6 over 5. So I'm going to times by 5/6. 6 goes into 330 55 times. And then when I multiply across, I end up getting 275 pounds. And then if you take a look in each of your questions today in your homework, I ask you some additional questions based on the information. You might have to find some dollars, some area. So what is the difference in their weight? Well, I would have to take my 330, subtract that by 275, equals, well, my thinking is 25 pounds gets me to 300, then 30 more pounds, so 55 pounds is the difference in a male giant panda and a female giant panda.